Welcome back to episode 3 of the E30K swap build. I'm going to be covering removing the entire front end here with my removable core support and disconnecting all the wiring and other nonsense to get the engine out. So stay tuned.
So first off, I'm just going to pop the hood and remove the latch. This comes off pretty easy. On the hinge itself, there's 3 bolts on each side that come off pretty fast too. Now it's time to just remove the hood, and I made a mount out of a scrap piece of plywood that spans across 3 studs in my garage. Removing the MTech kit or any Euro bumper setup is actually pretty easy. You just pop off these covers. There's 2 nuts here, and then on the actual fender itself, there's a bolt that passes through on both sides. It comes through without much fuss, just have to remove the turn signal and fog light wiring. Next up, I'm just going to remove the grills, which have a couple clips along the top and 2 Phillips on each side. The headlights themselves just have 3 Phillips screws. Before we can drop the radiator, it's pretty important to drain it. Before I get too into it, I'm just going to clean this fender and protect it with a film that was featured in a video by Garageaholic, so shout out to Frank. Now I'm just going to snake all the wires from the passenger side over to the driver's side so it's easy to remove. When I was rebuilding this car, I actually had to replace the whole front end because it was damaged in an accident from the previous owner. So I opted to make it all removable, and that was done just by welding on some plates along the top and bottom where that meets the radiator. I then added rib nuts on the body side of the car. After removing most of the bolts along the fenders and loosening it up, the core support is free to go. But of course I forgot to unhook the hood latch. With that out of the way, it was time to remove the airbox and any other accessories that held the engine to the car. Off camera, I removed the 6 nuts up by the manifold on the engine side, and taking off these 4 nuts and bolts will drop the rest of the exhaust. Off camera, I removed the drive shaft, shift linkage, clutch sleeve cylinder, and various other harnesses that were attached to the engine. And my buddies Kevin and Nick helped me pull the motor out pretty easily. So that just about wraps up the video, so stay tuned for next time.